but there's always an assumption that change is going to be slow and incremental in some way. But that kind of false divide has been politicized by the major animal charities, the welfare charities that are not interested in animal liberation. They just work in making the system a little bit nicer for consumers, not really for animals. But they start to politicize that language and say, oh yes, but if the world's not going to go vegan overnight, then let's adopt a flexitarian approach, and they can gradually become vegan. But the catch is, if you start to look at that material, a lot of the time, there's no end goal to that. It's as though being a flexitarian is the goal in of itself. There is no end in sight where one day you would go towards being vegan. So that, I mean, if you did an incremental approach to veganism, that actually has some backing, psychological backing to it. If it's difficult for you to change overnight, like I went vegan overnight, but not everybody could do that and incrementally go towards it. Fine. There's science to back that. However, these organizations are not actually doing that. They're just saying, okay, we'll cut back on whatever. And, whatever you think is a flexitarian, that's what it is. And it would be the equivalent of saying that if the feminist movement was saying, okay, we know that rape and sexual assault against women is terrible, but men, I know you may not be able to give up beating women and harming women overnight, but at least kind of cut down on it. The end goal would be stop doing it eventually, not to just, don't punch women. You can still kick them, whatever you think a flexitarian is when it comes to abusing women. You know what I mean? It's like these organizations are actually just using this as a stopgap so that we don't have to question them anymore, because actually what they're doing, they are actually intentionally watering down their political approach, because they know that if they advocate for veganism, that is going to be a direct challenge to a lot of industries that put money into these foundations, that fund these organizations and keep them in business.